And we're back. The campaign continues. We're in our second to last week. I'm playing Sam's Lizardmen this week. I charged out of the capital that I took last week as they were kind of coming in and hopefully trying to get it back, but I'm going to try and prevent that. I'll apologize at the onset here. I did not get a good picture of aerial deployment. The few pics I took were kind of fuzzy, but hopefully the next few pictures clear it up. A big shout out to Mr. Malorian. Thank you so much for featuring my battle reports on your Malorian Spotlight. I had a big spike in subscribers and viewers, and really appreciate that. It was also really cool to hear your analysis on the game and my list. We'll see how this one goes. Here's pretty much a shot of my side deployment. The list hasn't changed from last week. I'm running the level 4 Great Brave, Fencer's Blades, Ward Save, Dispel Scroll. My Wargore BSB with the 1-up rerollable armor, 5 Tuskor Chariots, 3x6 Ungor Raiders, big unit of Bestigor, Standard of Discipline, another unit of Bestigor, Banner of Swiftness, 6 Scouting Harpies, and 3 Razor Gors. Sam has an Old Blood on Cold one. That freaking cowboy. He's got 1-up armor and a ton of attacks. Teto Echo, BSB Scarvet. He's got a huge block of Saurus warriors with full command and hand weapon and shield. Stegodon, Ancient Stegodon, Bastillodon with the laser, and 2 units of 10 Chameleon Skinks. This is going to be another tough one. He's got a lot of shooting and some good magic. A comet could really ruin my day. For spells, I roll up Wissen's Wild Form, Amber Spear, Curse of Anrahir, and the Savage Beast of Horos. Pretty good stuff here. I was kind of excited to get Amber Spear. Hopefully I can take out one of those big dinosaurs. And Lizardman magic, he's running Teto Echo, who is a lore master of Lore of Heavens, and he counts as a level 2. He's got all kinds of little neat rules too. Again, I apologize. I didn't get an aerial shot of initial deployment, but here you can see he's got that big unit of Saurus with Teto Echo and his BSB in it. They're pretty much kind of dead center, a little bit to the right, my right. He used his Vanguard from Teto Echo to move up the Old Blood on Cold one and one of his Stegodons. The giant dinosaur on the right here, is like a normal one, I think. He's got like a giant bow thing and whatnot. And this is also movement. He moves his skinks up, and I scouted. You can see my harpies in the back there. Maybe they can cause some trouble. Left flank action. His skinks move up. Again, that they scouted there. I had my Ungors and everything stretched across the thing to keep him from being behind my lines and playing that game. And yeah, you can kind of see my deployment too. I got the 2 Razor Gors in the woods, 2 giant blocks of Bestigor, and my right side is pretty chariot heavy. This is going to be kind of a tough one because that giant Brachiosaurus that's rock hard. I wouldn't, maybe I can get a couple chariots in there a couple times and whittle that thing down, but I don't think one of my Bestigor blocks can take that on its own. It's going to need a dual charge, and it's going to be kind of hard to get that with those giant dinosaurs out there. Lizardman magic is 3-2. He throws 3 dice at Urinin's Thunderbolt at one of my chariots on the right flank. I just throw my 2 dice at it. I'm not going to burn a scroll on it. I fail to dispel it. Level 4 against level 2, and he gets 3 wounds through on that one. The skinks over here on my left flank shoot at that chariot and put a wound on it. The dinosaur on the top there shoots its dual blowpipes. It's got 2 giant blowpipes. They each shoot 2d6. He shoots at that Razor Gore in the woods. He's like long range multi-shot cover, but it's so many shots he still gets 2 wounds on it. On my right flank here, you can see the 1 chariot that took the 3 wounds from the magic phase. And these skinks move up and dump a bunch of poison shots into that Razor Gore that was on the end of those chariots. And that thing dies. Fortunately for me, I kind of had that right side within reroll range. I don't got awesome leadership over there because my general's a little bit more to the left. But everything there passes its panic test. Some of them need rerolls, but everything sticks. Beastmen turn 1. The Ungors declare a charge. I can't remember how I did this. I think the chariot charged first, or the Ungors did. Either way, he ends up doing he flees, and then I charge with the other thing, and he has to flee again, and he's like a quarter of an inch from running off the table. Really would have been nice to get rid of those skinks. They're such trouble. Um, my one Razorgore moves up. He's got 2 wounds, and he's gonna get shot. I don't want him getting doing weird panic stuff from dying, so I move him up to be some chaff and hopefully keep that old blood and dinosaur in check for a turn at least. On my right flank, if you remember from the picture prior, those skinks were up pretty far. I declared a charge with my Ungor, which would have been in their flank. No stand and shoot. He did the math in his head and thought, well, I better flee. So he flees. Then I declare a charge with one of my chariots, and he flees. I redirect into that Stegodon, and I declare another charge with another chariot on that Stegodon, and they both fail. So they're hanging out there kind of locked. This is the rest of Beastmen movement. We pretty much move up here. My other Razorgore on the left side kind of gets over there to maybe get a flank or something on that big dinosaur. Failed charges from the Ungor and Chariot on the bottom left there. Failed charges from the 2 rightest chariots, and my Ungors come up there to kind of chaff up that dinosaur to prevent any bad charges. He could still declare on the chariot in the middle, but we'll see what happens. I don't remember what I rolled for Winds of Magic. It was something slightly less than stellar. I chuck like the 3 or 4 dice that I had at a boosted Amber Spear at that large dinosaur on the left, and he dispels that. Lizardman turn 2. The Skinks rally on their cold-blooded. The Stegodon charges into these Ungor. They scrunch together because they're skirmishers. The Old Blood charges the Razorgore that was kind of in front of him. I elect to flee. He runs me down and ends up right here, right in front of my Bestigore. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We'll have to see what happens the rest of the turn here. Sam doesn't do much for moving here. My 2 blocks. Well, he's got the Old Blood there, but we're playing that range game. I'm a little bit faster than him. He's got the dinosaurs and whatnot. Magic phase is 12-6. He throws 5 dice at Comet. I don't want that happening, so I use my Dispel Scroll. Then he throws a bunch more dice at Thunderbolt at one of my chariots, and I throw my 6 dice and dispel that. Shooting phase, he shoots the double blowpipes at my chariot on my left flank there, and it's like long range and some cover or something. He needs 6s to hit, and he rolls a ton of dice. He's rolling 4d6 shots, and he doesn't get any 6s, so I survive that. A bit of foreshadowing here. Sam's having some bad dice rolls early on. Really not hitting that math curve with his poison shots and whatnot. It's going to be kind of a trend, and we'll see how this continues. The skinks that rallied up here let loose a bunch of poison shots. The harpies, some of them can't see, some get cover, some don't. We got to roll a bunch of separate dice, but he ends up killing 3 of them, and luckily they passed their panic check. They got shit leadership out there. I scouted them there because I really had an eye on Teto Echo there. I know it's not a bunch of attacks, but if those harpies can get in there, maybe I can assassinate them. The Stegodon makes short work of the Ungors and decides to reform. And that's it for Lizardman 2. Beastman 2, we start out, I want to try to clear those skinks out. They just rallied and shot some stuff. I declare with my Ungors and my chariot. They actually both end up failing. The Bestigore declare a charge on the Old Blood. He kind of hems and haws about this. He knows it's a bunch of strength 6 attacks and primal fury and whatnot. He's looking at 3 ranks and a banner for static res. I kind of talk him into sticking here because I mean, if it's a real tooled up cowboy, he's gonna be able to do a lot of wounds and hopefully not take many back, even though it is strength 6. I think when I hit him, I can only get 6 guys in on there. He's gonna end up with a 4 up, 4 up, which isn't that bad. And the 3 chariots on the right flank declare charges at that stegodon. He stands and shoots at one of them and doesn't do any wounds, or maybe one. I move the dice, the wound dice, for my charge distances, but they come back later. And the harpies have just enough room to sneak in. They fly, so they can hop right over that Bastillodon and hopefully get some good attacks on Teto Echo. I know I got initiative on him. We'll see if I can kill him. The rest of Beastman movement looks like this. I move my BSB Bestigor block, the one in the center there, just kind of playing that range game again. Chariot that didn't charge moves up to kind of maybe put some bait on those Saurus. I don't know if he'll take it, but eh. Winds of Magic is 4-3. I cast Curse of Anra here on that large Saurus block. I throw my 4 dice at it. I cast irresistibly, so they're cursed, and I roll miscast 8, which is a strength 6 hit to my caster, and I ward it. Combat, I'm getting 3d6 strength 5 impact hits on that stag. I only roll 8 on 3d6. It's a little less than average. I only get 2 wounds through. The chariot on the furthermost left fails its terror check. The stegodon kind of whiffs, but he does put 1 wound on that last chariot. And my Bestigor gets a wound. I end up winning this combat. He flees, and I run him down to here. In the Harpy Saurus combat, he makes way with his BSB over there. I still get to go first. I get a wound through on Teto Echo, and he kills the rest of those guys. It was a nice try. The combat between the Old Blood and the Bestigor, he declares a challenge. I can't put my Bray Shaman in there, so I decline. He sends him to the back. We're striking simultaneously. He kind of whiffs on his rolls. He's got a lot of attacks at a high strength. I got Primal Fury. He's got that 4-up, 4-up after my strength 6, and I don't do any wounds to him. Static combat res, I end up winning by a little bit, but he rolls Snake Eyes on his Cold-Blooded, so he's hanging out. Lizardmen declare no charges. He just kind of shuffles the skinks and leaves those Saurus where they are. He's picking apart my support units between little magic stuff, the poison shooting from the skinks, the poison shooting from the double blowpipes. Just kind of all my little support units are getting disintegrated, and he's slowly collecting points, and I have to find a way to get some from him. Magic is 11-6. He's getting really good phases. He throws a bunch of dice at the bound spell from the laser beam on the Bastillodon at that chariot with 1 wound. I can't justify throwing any dice at that because I know he's still got a bunch more. He kills that chariot, and then he throws 5 dice at Comet, and I dispel that with my 6. Lucky. Shooting phase. The skinks shoot at this chariot and put 3 wounds on it. Still alive. Yeah, he's just taking down all my support units again. On the left flank, more skink shenanigans continue. I've tried my best to get my chariot in some cover to help out a little bit. He shoots at them and nicks a little more wounds. Important to note, the poison shooting is really tough against these chariots and Razor Gore. The Razor Gore has no save, so they're just getting plunked down. The chariots, the impact hits do great on them, but if a couple wounds are nicked off that thing, when I declare a charge, the stand and shoot's kind of scary because I might not make it in. That's really proven a problem this game, and he's just kind of whittling away my support. Combat with the Old Blood in the middle. He kills 5 Bestigor. I don't, or he declares a challenge again. I decline. He kills 5 Bestigor, and I don't do any wounds to him. I lose by 1, and I'm steadfast and stick. Beastman turn 3. We're going to try to get rid of these skinks. I charge the chariot on the right flank into the skinks. Chariot on the left flank goes into the skinks. I have a decent magic phase here. I don't remember what it was, but I throw a bunch of dice at Wissens on my Bestigor unit in combat, and he throws 6 at dispelling it. Then I throw the rest of my dice at um, boosted Amber Spear at that Stegodon on the left there from my Great Bray, and I get it off. The boosted one is strength 10. I wound and I do 6 wounds. Toast that Stegodon. It's a nice little bonus. Amber Spear is really underrated beast spell, especially for Beastmen, because they don't really have any shooting, and they don't have a way to reach out and get that big nasty stuff aside from combat. And it's nice to be able to whittle some of it down and get rid of it before combat's joined. So combat here. I did get Curse of Anra here off on the Old Blood in the Magic phase too. Like I said, I had a good phase. I can't remember exactly what the dice were, but I got 2 spells off, and he dispelled Wissens. He kind of whiffs here. Curse of Anra here definitely helps. I got, ranks and standards still. I end up winning this combat by 2 even without doing any wounds to him. He fails his cold-blooded check and flees. And he doesn't roll very big, but I fail to catch him here. Combat on the right, I do a couple impact hits to the skinks, and they kill that chariot that only had 1 wound left. The chariot fight on the left, I do some impact hits. He can't wound me. I break him and run him down. Lizardmen turn 4. He charges the Saurus into the Bestigor. We were playing that range game, and I left him a 9. He's movement 4. I'm movement 6 with the banner. Yeah, there's like 13 and a little more than 12 inches separating us, and well, he gets in there. He takes the chance and does it. Applaud him for that, for having the balls to try that. The Old Blood rallies. Magic is 4 to 3. He tries to cast Ice Shard Blizzard on that combat. I don't want that. I dispel it. He tries to cast the laser from the Bastiladon on those Bestigor, and that he just fails to cast it with like his last dice. He also plunks a couple. I don't know, the skinks. I don't think they don't have anything to shoot at there, so they don't really do much but hang out. Here's a photo. I foreshadowed earlier the dice stuff that Sam was having in this game. The combat in the middle, I can't remember if this is to hits or wounds or what it was, but he rolls he's rolling a ton of dice. He's in horde formation. He's got predatory fighter, so he gets extra attacks for rolling 6s in the front. The rear guys don't get that, but it's just Flub City here again. My Bestigor, really, they take 3 wounds. He issues a challenge with his BSB. I accept with mine. We play patty cake. I pass my Primal Fury and do a bunch of wounds to the Saurus. I actually end up winning this one by 1, and he sticks. I mean, that just really surprised me. I just literally wipe my brow and go, whew. Beastmen turn 4, I declare a charge into the flank of his Saurus there with my Bestigor unit. We were pretty close. I had to do my full 90-degree wheel, and that's kind of how it ended up. I didn't get many guys in there, but hopefully that helps, and at least I have a flank. Magic is 8 to 6. I throw a couple dice at Curse of Anra here on that Saurus unit. He dispels it with a couple dice. I throw a couple at Wissen's Wild Form. He throws the rest of his dice at it and fails to dispel it. So now these guys are Wissensed up. I got 2 dice left to throw at Savage Beast of Horos at my BSB in that challenge. And roll Snake Eyes. It would have been nice. Would have been really nice. Here you can see the semi-results of that combat. Again, he's just not rolling good. We play patty cake in the challenge. I do 1 wound to his BSB. My 1-up rerollable armor's holding out pretty good. His guy's got a halberd. I'm getting rerollable 4-up armor saves, and I'm hitting him like a champ. To the front, he kills 3 more Bestigor. The flank over there, he can't wound my general, and he does 1 wound to those Bestigor. And Primal Fury and all that stuff, I go to town. He's not steadfast anymore, and bad stuff's gonna happen. And they break. He's looking at Snake Eyes there, and he can't get it. His BSB was still alive. He had 2 cracks at it. I've seen it happen with Lizardmen before. They're rolling 3 and taking the 2 lowest. I've seen it happen more than once. It doesn't happen this time. I break him. I pursue him with the Bestigor, and the Bestigor on the right and the Bestigor on the left. Just do a combat reform. That's kind of pretty much the game, but we keep playing here because he's got that old blood that's been doing nasty stuff, and there's still points to be had. So he charges in his old blood back into that combat. He likes it there. He's had pretty good luck, aside from the 1 whiff time. Magic, that Bastiladon, he doesn't have Teto Echo anymore, but he throws all his dice at the Bastiladon laser, at that chariot there that I had neatly positioned in case that old blood did get in on a charge for a rear or flank, and he destroys that. Shooting the Skank's Plink at the Bestigor, and I don't know if they even do a wound. Combat with the old blood and the Bestigor block. He's loving this. That's his to hit rolls there. He's got Predatory Fighter. He gets 3 more attacks. Yeah, he's shredding this unit. And he kills 7 Bestigor there. That's a big time ouch. Yeah, 7 Bestigor die. I'm steadfast and I stick. Here we're checking to see if the other Bestigor unit has Arcosight on that old blood. He tried his best to, steer him over to the left. He did the best he could when he charged, but I can still see him. So I charge them in. Flank charge. The Ungors, that's pretty much all I got left are these 2 blocks in my Ungors. They just kind of try to stay out of trouble, not give up points. Even though this game is pretty much in the bag, it's still nice to practice smart things and look around and see that you're not giving up any unnecessary points. So he just has his army dispel left. I still got my level 4 alive. I get Wissen's Wild Form off on the block at the top there, and I also get Savage Beast of Horos off on my BSB. So we'll see if there's any challenge stuff going on here. For fun, let's see. He doesn't declare a challenge because he knows that I'll accept with my BSB, who's all juiced up now, but then I declare a challenge back and he has to accept. And we can pretty much figure out how that goes. I'm looking at like 7 strength, or just an outrageous amount of attacks, that really high strength, and I toast that old blood. Yeah, and that's the game. So a little recap here. I thought Sam played a great game. He used great restraint with that Saurus block. He used his skinks and the double blowpipes and whatnot to take out my support units. It really came down to that flub roll in the middle. When he got that large unit of Saurus into those Bestigor, I thought it was game over for them. I left him a long charge, and he had the balls to take it and did it. And the dice didn't reward him in the combat phase. That really tipped the scales of this. That's it for this week. We got 1 more week in the campaign. It's going to be 2,000 points again. Who knows who I'll be playing. It's been a great time. If this is your first time watching, thanks for finding me. Thanks again to Malorian for featuring me on his spotlight. Yeah, thanks a ton for watching. If you like what you see, comment. If there's anything you see you did or didn't like, comment, like, or subscribe. Thanks.